13 days, just 13 more days until that man becomes president. My panel's back with me after 4 years that seemed like a lifetime. I cannot wait for the return of decency. Beth Phoe is a senior politics editor for NBC News. Michael Starr Hopkins is a Democratic strategist who's worked on several presidential campaigns, including that of President Obama. And John Halterwanger is a senior politics reporter for Business Insider. Michael Starr Hopkins doesn't sound like a complicated, tough reach, except it is. How does Joe Biden get to decency in the political environment that we're in?
Look, Joe Biden couldn't be more perfect for this moment. He's a man whose political superpower is his empathy. He's overcome tragedy. He knows how to talk to our better angels. And so I think in this moment, he has to do that. This is reminiscent of 2008 when we were going through a crisis and President Obama had to steady the ship. Joe Biden is going to be the person who has to do that exact same thing. And the polar opposite between he and Trump, a man who's small and pathetically insufficient at being able to do his job, I think tells us everything we need to know about what the next administration is going to look like.
Beth Phoe, when I was out traveling before the election, every single week I was talking to Republicans and Democrats. They were so far apart on the basic data. This wasn't a discussion about whether minimum wage should be $10 or $12 or single-payer health care should be there versus some other form of universal health care. People were working off of completely different sets of facts, some of them nonsensical. There's a lot to be done here other than empathizing with people and finding common ground.
Well, and I think what you're pointing to is a real problem in our media ecosystem where there are channels and publications and online platforms that basically feed this misinformation to a very willing audience, this sort of Trumper audience who willingly laps it up. And that is going to be a challenge for us going forward, no question about it. I don't know that that's something Joe Biden can ever solve. What he can do is produce policies that people can agree to. And let's face it, Allie, the whole country is now in this coronavirus crisis. We're in an economic collapse as a result. People want this to be over. They want people to be healthy. They want to get their jobs back. And Joe Biden's first order of business has to be that. It has to be getting the virus under control and figuring a way out of this crisis of the economy that we are facing. That hopefully would be something that could unite these disparate factions that you're talking about who operate off of different facts. This time, this is a fact that everybody at this point shares is a desire to see us out of this pandemic, and Joe Biden can address that.
So, John, if that happens and there's something that looks like good governance and there's this thing that Joe Biden brags about, his ability to get along with people, including Mitch McConnell, and we start to see what government actually looks like if it works, can that lower the temperature on this remarkably polarized, hot thing that we've had for the last 4 years?
Well, after the past 24 hours, I certainly hope so. We can't go on like this, quite frankly. What we've seen over the past day shows that we have very real existential threats facing our democracy at present. And we really do need someone to come forward and unify the country. Joe Biden is someone with a long record of reaching across the aisle with Republican friends in the Senate, albeit their relationship hasn't been great lately with senators like Lindsey Graham, for example. But if he can achieve that, if he can reach across the aisle, if he can come to compromises on another COVID stimulus package, for example, perhaps that could lower the temperature. Perhaps that could restore confidence in the U.S. government. Because right now, I think a lot of people are doubting the strength of the U.S. government. They are looking at the notion of American exceptionalism as a myth. And they're really wondering where the country's going to go moving forward.
Beth, 30 seconds. Who do you think? What do you think his secret weapon is in getting this done? What's the thing that Joe Biden can bring out that can help him establish himself as the one who does bring the temperature down and help us move ahead?
2 newly elected Democratic senators from Georgia, giving him a Democratic Senate majority. That's going to mean everything to Joe Biden. It means it'll get his agenda on the floor for consideration by the Senate. But it's still going to be a 50-50 Senate. It's going to have to be policies that can produce some bipartisan agreement and compromise. But that Democratic Senate is going to make all the difference to Joe Biden.
Beth, always good to see you, my friend. I'm generally speaking grateful for you bringing me into this business. A little bit sore at you for the last 4 years. Beth Fooey is a senior politics editor for NBC News. Michael Starr Hopkins, Democratic campaign strategist. John Haltwanger is a senior business reporter for Business Insider. Thank you all for being with me early this morning. And that does it for me. Thanks for watching. I'm heading straight to